300 years ago, the largest city on Earth was not in Europe. It was in Japan. Long before the neon lights, bullet trains, and glass skyscrapers of modern Tokyo, this place was known as Edo, a vast wooden city of samurai, merchants, canals, temples, and crowded markets. In the year 1700, nearly 1 million people lived here, making Edo one of the most populated urban centers in the world. What had once been a small fishing village on the edge of Edo Bay had transformed into the political heart of Japan, and the center of a powerful military government that would rule the country for more than 2 centuries. At the center of this enormous city stood Edo Castle, the seat of the Tokugawa shogunate. From this fortress, the shogun governed Japan with strict order and stability. Although the emperor still lived in Kyoto, real political authority flowed from Edo. This unusual balance of power shaped not only the government of Japan, but also the rapid growth of the city itself. To understand Tokyo today, we must first step back into Edo at the height of its power. The rise of Edo began in the early 17th century. In 1603, Tokugawa Ieyasu established the Tokugawa shogunate after decades of civil war that had divided Japan. Determined to secure peace and maintain control over the country, he chose Edo as the administrative center of his government. At the time, Edo was still relatively small, but its strategic position near the coast and its natural defenses made it an ideal location for a new political capital. Over the following decades, the city expanded rapidly as warriors, administrators, craftsmen, merchants, and laborers arrived from across Japan. Political power attracted people, and people transformed the city. One of the most important systems that fueled Edo's expansion was known as Sankinkatai. Under this policy, powerful regional lords called daimyo were required to maintain grand residences in Edo and spend part of every year living there. Their families remained in the city permanently, effectively serving as hostages to ensure the loyalty of the daimyo. This policy forced hundreds of powerful lords and thousands of samurai to travel regularly between their domains and the capital. Each arrival brought processions of retainers, supplies, and wealth into the city. Roads leading into Edo became busy arteries of movement, and the constant flow of people turned the capital into a dynamic center of politics and commerce. By the year 1700, Edo had grown into a vast urban landscape stretching across the lowlands around Edo Bay. Visitors arriving from the countryside often described the city as overwhelming in size. Streets extended across neighborhoods filled with wooden houses, workshops, shrines, and canals. Smoke rose from kitchen fires, merchants called out from their stalls, and the sound of everyday life echoed through crowded streets. At the very center of this enormous city stood Edo Castle, one of the largest fortified complexes in the world at the time. Massive stone walls surrounded the castle grounds, protected by wide moats and guarded gates. Within these defenses lived the shogun, his family, and the highest officials of the Tokugawa government. The castle was not only a residence, but a symbol of authority and stability. From here, policies were issued that shaped the lives of millions across Japan. Surrounding the castle were the residential districts of the samurai. These neighborhoods were quieter and more orderly than the bustling merchant areas farther away from the center. Samurai houses were often enclosed behind walls and wooden gates, forming compounds where warrior families lived according to strict codes of discipline, honor, and loyalty. Many samurai served as bureaucrats and administrators rather than battlefield warriors, managing the complex systems of governance that maintained order across the country. Beyond the samurai districts stretched the crowded neighborhoods of merchants and artisans. Here the atmosphere changed dramatically. Edo was built primarily from wood, and rows of narrow wooden houses lined streets packed with shops, workshops, and market stalls. Merchants sold rice, textiles, ceramics, paper, tools, and everyday goods needed by the city's enormous population. Artisans crafted lanterns, furniture, clothing, and decorative objects with remarkable skill. The streets were alive with sound vendors shouting their prices, craftsmen shaping wood and metal, and children weaving between the crowds. Despite its massive size, Edo functioned with surprising organization. Tokugawa society followed a strict hierarchy that defined the role of each social group. Samurai stood at the top as the ruling class. Farmers were responsible for producing food, particularly rice, which formed the foundation of the economy. Artisans produced goods and tools, while merchants handled trade and distribution. Officially, merchants occupied the lowest rank in the social order, yet many became extremely wealthy as commerce expanded within the city. Edo's geography also shaped the rhythm of life. Built on a coastal plain crossed by rivers and marshlands, the city developed an intricate network of canals and waterways. Engineers constructed bridges and channels that allowed boats to move goods efficiently through the urban landscape. The Sumida River flowed along the eastern edge of the city and became one of its most important transportation routes. Boats carrying rice, firewood, fish, and building materials drifted along the waterways throughout the day. Along the riverbanks, docks and warehouses stored shipments arriving from distant provinces. Rice shipments were especially important, since rice served not only as food, but also as a form of economic currency used to pay samurai stipends and measure wealth. Markets flourished across Edo, but none were more famous than the district of Nihonbashi. At the center of this area stood the Nihonbashi Bridge, which marked the official starting point of the 5 great highways connecting Edo with the rest of Japan. Merchants from distant regions gathered here to sell goods brought from across the country. Fish from Edo Bay, timber from mountain forests, rice from inland farms, and crafted goods from rural workshops all passed through the busy markets of Nihonbashi, from sunrise to sunset. The streets around the bridge were filled with buyers, sellers, travelers, and workers moving through one of the busiest commercial centers in Japan. Yet Edo was not only a place of government and commerce. It was also one of the most vibrant cultural centers of its time. A lively urban culture developed within the city, often described as the floating world or ukiyo. In entertainment districts such as Yashiwara, people gathered to enjoy theater, music, food, and social life. Kabuki theaters became especially popular, attracting large audiences fascinated by dramatic performances, elaborate costumes, and expressive acting styles. Storytellers, musicians, and artists flourished in this energetic cultural environment. Woodblock prints known as ukiyo-e captured scenes of everyday life, famous actors, seasonal landscapes, and moments from the entertainment districts. These prints would later become some of the most recognizable works of Japanese art. Throughout the city, temples and shrines provided places of quiet reflection amid the busy streets. Buddhism and Shinto traditions coexisted across Edo's neighborhoods, and many residents regularly visited temples to pray, make offerings, or celebrate seasonal festivals. Lanternlit celebrations filled the streets during certain times of the year, bringing music, color, and excitement to communities across the city. Life in Edo, however, was not without danger. Because most buildings were constructed from wood and paper, fires posed a constant threat to the densely populated city. Large fires occasionally swept through entire districts, destroying thousands of homes in a matter of hours. These disasters became so common that residents sometimes referred to fires as the flowers of Edo. Yet the people of the city adapted to this reality. Organized fire brigades were established to respond quickly when flames appeared, and rebuilding became an almost routine part of life. Edo developed a reputation for resilience, repeatedly rising again after destruction. Another challenge of such a massive population was sanitation and water management. Surprisingly, Edo developed efficient systems to maintain cleanliness. Waste was collected and transported outside the city, where it was used as fertilizer on nearby farms. This system not only supported agriculture, but also helped keep the streets cleaner than those of many European cities during the same period. By the early 18th century, Edo had firmly established itself as one of the most remarkable urban centers in the world. Though Japan remained largely isolated from foreign influence during the Tokugawa era, the city itself flourished economically and culturally. Travelers often described Edo as immense, orderly, and full of movement. Samurai walked the streets carrying their swords. Merchants moved between shops and warehouses. Boats drifted quietly beneath wooden bridges. At night, thousands of lanterns illuminated the narrow streets, casting warm light across the wooden city. In the centuries that followed, Edo would undergo extraordinary transformation. The Tokugawa shogunate eventually collapsed in the 19th century as Japan opened to the outside world. Political authority shifted once again, and the emperor moved from Kyoto to Edo. The city was renamed Tokyo, meaning Eastern Capital. Railways, factories, and modern infrastructure gradually replaced the wooden neighborhoods of the old city. Steel towers rose where samurai compounds once stood. Yet beneath the modern skyline, the foundations of Tokyo still trace back to Edo. The districts, waterways, traditions, and rhythms of life that shaped the Tokugawa capital helped form the identity of the modern metropolis. To walk through Tokyo today is to move across centuries of history layered beneath one of the most advanced cities on Earth. And beneath the glowing lights of the modern skyline, the spirit of Edo still echoes in the streets where samurai once walked.